Welcome to the Disenfranchised Podcast, the podcast all about those franchises that won, those films that fancy themselves full-fledged franchises for falling flat on their face, after the first film. I'm your host, Stephen Foxworthy, and joining me as always is my hoser brother here, Tucker. Hey, Tucker.
Hello, Stephen.
Oh, boy, you sound really ominous today, eh?
How's it going, dude?
It's going all right. I'm going to cut that out because I have a feeling that's going to get real old real quick. But
no, you stopped at the perfect time. You were right about to overstay your welcome. But you came up to the line and you were like, you know what? That's it.
I'm a lot of things, Tucker, and one of those things is somewhat self-aware. So I'm self-aware enough to know right when I'm, most of the time, right about when I'm going to get really annoying. And I try to stop at that point. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not.
That's the thing about us annoying people. We have to get self-aware or die.
Correct. Correct.
Because if you don't get that shit in check, you ain't going to have any friends.
Correct. But yes, Tucker, it is the first episode of season 6 of the Disenfranchised Podcast, starting our 6th year as a podcast. We started in September of 2020, and we are still somehow going strong. And in a few weeks here, we're going to come up on our 250th episode.
Whoa.
We have done a lot of these things. And for some reason, people continue to listen to this very silly podcast. And I am eternally grateful to them always.
I think if it dipped below like maybe 30 consecutive, listeners, not consecutive, but, like people who listen all the time, I might consider hanging it up. Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
But
yeah, and I mean, there are times when my schedule gets real busy and I'm like, is this worth it? And then I sit down to like talk about a really silly movie and I'm like, yeah, it still is.
You gaze
I still love talking to my friends.
And you see my beautiful face.
Nah, something like that. Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, I like looking at it.
I know you do. You like me are one of those people who, if there's a mirrored surface nearby, you kind of have to like catch yourself from like looking at it all the time.
We are the Californians, yes.
Yes. I have done that most of my life, and it drove my ex-wife crazy. She's like, "Why are you looking at yourself?" And I was like, "Because I want to see what my face is doing at any given time." You never know when you're going to need to look a certain way on stage, and I need to know what my face looks like.
Oh, wow. You're doing the work, doing the research for the role.
Trying. Yeah, you never know what's going to come out. That's why I never throw away like old ties and things, is because you never know when you're going to need just something very bizarre and specific. So I've got a bunch of like ties from the 60s and 70s that belong to my late grandfather, and they are all clip-ons that come up to about halfway down my chest. So, yeah.
Hey, that could be used for silliness, I feel like.
That is what I'm saying. Is why I have them. And
full of prop ties.
Prop ties. I also have old spectacles, old glasses that I could knock the lenses out of and get falsies in case I need to have like some period specs. I've got shit. I am loath to throw away things like that just in case I may need them at some point. So,
do you hear that, casting directors? Steven comes with his own costume department.
And I mean, it's not extensive. Like I've heard of some people who like live and work out in New York and are like get cast a lot on like procedurals. If they get cast as a cop enough times, it's actually cheaper for them to just go out and buy a cop costume. That way they don't have to worry about like wardrobe, like trying to fit them. So,
yeah. Have you watched Hacks, Steven? Have you watched the
show
yet. Hacks?
Not yet.
Well, if I may, it's not a spoiler, but the main character is very rich. And she just has like a warehouse. That's essentially her closet.
There you go.
And I thought that was pretty rad.
Sounds like something off of Arrested Development, honestly.
Gene Smart,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
From Designing Women, your show.
Yeah.
You love that show.
It still holds up in small doses.
Right on.
No.
Tucker, to kick off our 6th season as a podcast, we, that is to say, the brains behind this podcast, are kicking off a special theme month just for the occasion, and it is a little sketch month we are calling, or a little theme month we're calling. I just ruined it. I fucked it up, Tucker.
No, Steven, look, you lost it before you even started there. You try that again. I know you can do it. You were stumbling on the first word, man. Come on.
Oh God.
Take a deep breath and let's try it again, Steven.
All right. I'm centering myself. Okay. Fuck me. All right. Take 2. Tucker, to kick off our 6th season as a podcast, we, that is to say, the brain trust behind the Disenfranchised podcast, have decided to kick things off with a theme month that we are lovingly calling SKETCH-TEMBER. We are talking about movies that got their start or were born out of either the creative minds behind or the characters from some of our favorite sketch comedy shows. And so we are kicking off SKETCH-TEMBER with one of the better ones, I think, potentially. 1983's Strange Brew. Inspired by the characters Bob and Doug McKenzie from SCTV. The film is written and directed by Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, those McKenzie brothers themselves. Also, Steve DeJarnette has a screen credit as well. The cast is Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis as Bob and Doug McKenzie. The great Max von Sydow, Lynn Griffin, Angus McGinnis.
If you need a villain, if you need a villain that works in a comedy or a serious movie, you either get Christopher Lee or Max von Sydow. Like, those are the guys.
Or Christopher Walken these days.
Yeah, he's kind of taken that mantle since those guys are,
right. Yeah, passed. They are no longer with us.
Yeah.
The another dearly departed, the late great Paul Dooley. We love him.
Oh, yeah.
Brian McConaughey as well in there. And of course, I did hear it because it sounds like their dad is Yosemite Sam. It's the great Mel Blanc as the voice of Bob and Doug's dad. And of course, lest I forget, Buddy the dog as Hosehead the dog. What a cast. What a picture.
A truly frightening dog. Like, that dog, just like, even when it's sitting still and like not doing anything, just being a good boy, I am so scared of that dog. He's a sweet boy, but
he is.
Something about it, just the way, like, he looks like this dog in this animated Russian short that I saw once from like the 70s or the 80s.
Russian animation is on its own relatively terrifying too. So
yes. Joe and I watched it when we went to Pittsburgh after we went to the Evans City Cemetery and the Monroeville Mall. We went back to the Airbnb and I curated a short film festival.
Which sounds very much like a thing you would do.
And we had a great time, and all the short films that we watched are on my list for what are we watching. So if we ever record that what are we watching, the next one,
we need to release the last one we recorded.
No, that's collateral. I don't release that until we record the other one. It's collateral. Like,
I mean, I'm in the 60s now in terms of like number of movies I've watched, and that's not including television, books. Yes, I started and finished novels in the time since we've recorded our last What Are We Watching, and comics. I've got a lot of things on the docket to discuss. So the sooner the better, frankly.
And I think that we could get through that. Brett usually doesn't have much. He doesn't write stuff down usually. So if we got like a good Friday or Saturday night or something where we could all like start at 8:00 and just go as late as we needed to, and then chop it up into however many pieces it needed to be. I'm into it, is what I'm saying. I'm into it.
I had you usually are into it.
I'm very into it. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm into this movie too.
Yeah.
So for a while.
Let's get into that. So obviously we mentioned Bob and Doug McKenzie coming from the Canadian television show SCTV. They were created, if I'm not mistaken, because the Canadian like board like really pushed for all Canadian programs to have like Canadian culture, like some kind of Canadian cultural segment or something. Yeah. And so this was kind of their very pointed like malicious compliance to that order, and it ended up becoming insanely popular. They even had an album, a comedy album called The Great White North, which sold 1 million copies.
Yeah, it was big.
And so based on that, they're like, okay, why not do a movie? And so that's what we have here, Strange Brew. Tucker, what is your exposure to SCTV? Let's start with SCTV. What's your familiarity level with that?
Well, my familiarity level starts and ends with Rick Moranis as Michael McDonald.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're rushing back to the microphone.
Had you seen that before I recommended it to you, or was I the one that
I watch it almost daily now?
It's so fucking funny.
It's so it never gets old either. Like I've watched it 3 or 4 times in a row before.
There are some really, really good bits on SCTV. There's like the Five Neat Guys, which I love the Five Neat Guys. There's also the gone, just been gone so long, gone so long. And like it's Rick Moranis, it's John Candy, and it's Eugene Levy. And each one just gets progressively more awkward as they're singing. The Canadian Kids TV is another really good one. Like I am familiar with a lot of SCTV bits, and they are great. It was basically Canada's answer to Saturday Night Live, and
Lorne Michaels produced it as well.
Oh, that I did not know. That's wonderful.
Yeah, they're kind of sister shows. And my answer was a joke, Steven. That wasn't my first exposure to SCTV.
Well, I have no way of knowing that.
So, excuse me. I've been way into Rick Moranis since Ghostbusters, which I basically popped out of the womb and saw. Even though I was born 2 years before it came out, but I don't remember a time where I hadn't seen Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, I didn't see Ghostbusters till college. So Rick Moranis for me was always Wayne Zielinski from Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes, Honey I Shrunk the Kids. I was never really a Spaceballs guy.
You're not a Mel Brooks guy. I like Spaceballs.
I love Mel Brooks. I just don't understand we don't have the same sense of humor. Like, I think he's great. There are a few of his movies that I do like a bit. I kind of like Blazing Saddles.
Young
Frankenstein is okay. And I think
the OG Producers is a masterpiece. I think the OG Producers
I need to
is
see that.
Masterpiece.
I think that I would like that one more than any of his others.
Yeah, I think
I think it's kind of less like out there silly and more like grounded silly. It seems like
you might also grounded silly. You might also like his follow up to that, The 12 Chairs, which I've not seen, but I've heard is again a lot more grounded than some of his follow up stuff.
My Mel Brooks movie that I still like, that I'll still watch. Generally not a fan, but I do love Robin Hood Men in Tights.
See, and that's lesser Brooks for me. That and like Dracula Dead and Loving It and Life Stinks are kind of like D tier Brooks for me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I knew about Rick Moranis for a while. And then when I started getting into sketch comedy and stuff, when I was a teenager, I watched a lot of Monty Python and Kids in the Hall, Mr. Show, all that kind of shit. And I never
shows we may talk about later this month.
Straight up, maybe we're definitely talk about a few of those.
Right.
No, I always liked that stuff, but SCTV is kind of a blind spot. Like, I'm familiar with a lot of people that came from SCTV, and I'm familiar with the story behind the show. But I really haven't seen a lot of sketches. Like, I still really love sketch comedy, but I had a big sketch comedy phase. And when that was happening, the internet isn't what it is now, and
Right.
SCTV out of all that shit was the least like available to me.
Makes sense.
So I just never got around to it really. I would like to visit, like, if somebody could curate me a good YouTube playlist or something, that would be fantastic.
I'm checking to see if SCTV is streaming anywhere, and it doesn't look like it is, at least
It
not in
used
this
to be. They
country.
used to have it on something. I don't remember what.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's any in this country any longer. I think it's Dave Thomas as Richard Harris lip syncing MacArthur Park is also really freaking funny. There's a lot of great SCTV sketches, and I've barely scratched the surface. Like, I think Joel Flaherty's character, Vampire Floyd, who's like a late night, like a Svengoolie or a Sammy Terry kind of late night horror host, is I think another really good like recurring character from that show that a lot of people really enjoy. And that, you get people like Catherine O'Hara, Andrea Martin, Eugene Levy, John Candy, Rick Moranis, Martin Short, all coming out of SCTV, which is phenomenal. Honestly, it's
people
just
that are still
group.
People that are still at the top of the comedy game. Some of which are dead, but if they weren't, they'd probably still be on top of it too. Like Marty Short. Marty Short's career is bigger than it's ever been.
Right, he just
Catherine
won
O'Hara,
his first Emmy not too long ago. Catherine O'Hara's on, Schitt's Creek. She won her Emmy for Schitt's Creek.
Michael
She's
McKean.
on. I fucking love that guy. From most recently in like getting big reviews in Better Call Saul. Like, he's starring another sketch comedy alum, Bob Odenkirk. Like,
also in the new Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, dropping in theaters September 12th.
I'm so excited to see that.
I was apprehensive at first. Did I use that word right?
You did. No, you did.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, yeah.
I
was apprehensive at first, but seeing the trailer and the promotional material, like, I'm not worried anymore. Like, I know it's going to be great.
I really love those three guys.
They're the best.
McKean, Christopher Guest, and fucking Harry Shearer. Like, you get those three guys together, and yes, I'm less a fan of Rob Reiner, honestly. I can take or leave Rob Reiner.
Funny though as Marty DeBerg though. He's really funny in both.
Yeah.
From what I saw from the first movie and what I've seen of the second one, he's still he understands that character.
And I'm one of those guys who will go out and watch like the Spinal Tap ephemera. Like, there's the concert film that they did together. There's the follow up that they did like for one of those like
TV movie.
One of those concert things that they
Bitch
did.
School. Bitch School was one of their singles they released in the 80s.
Yes.
And I remember there's the in the video it starts out with them in the office and the guy's trying to explain to them that it's at an all girls school. And they're like, well, wouldn't that make us look very short? It's like, no, not a tall girls, an all girls.
I need to bust out Spinal Tap. School. I own Spinal Tap on DVD.
Yes.
And I need to bust that out. I don't remember if I have the Criterion DVD or not. I don't know that I do, but that's one that's like on my list. Like, because that's been out of print for ages. If I find it's an auto buy. Like, I will automatically buy that if I see it out in the wild.
I had a pretty unique experience my first time watching that movie because I bought it blind on VHS, and it was a special edition that had the Bitch School music video, the aforementioned Bitch School music video.
Yes, I've seen the Bitch School music. I think a friend of mine in college owned the version with that on it.
And it had a handful of deleted scenes from the movie. So first time watching this movie, and for some reason, most of the time in the VHS days, if there were any special features, like, for example, on the Crow VHS, there was an interview with Brandon Lee. It was after the movie. But for some reason, on This Is Spinal Tap, special edition VHS, all the special features came before. So I saw the deleted scenes and Bitch School before I ever saw the movie. First time I saw the movie, I saw all that shit first. I was like, okay, that's funny, but I don't really have context for that. Like,
the version that I have comes with a shit ton of special features. This is the one that was released, looks like by Studio Canal. And it's got 4 different music videos, and I have to assume one of those is going to be Bitch School. So plus like a shit ton of like just a bunch of over an hour of deleted scenes. Like,
wow, I gotta get that, because the handful they put at the beginning of the VHS were really good. There's the one where they're at the zoo and they're talking about how monkeys can talk but they can't swear. Like,
I love when they're talking about the different ways the drummers have died, and they start talking about one of them choked on some vomit, not his own vomit. We don't know whose vomit, because you can't really dust for vomit.
You can't dust for vomit. No.
You can't dust for vomit is one of just the all-time great ad libs in film history. It's so fucking good.
I think that's
Harry
why
Shearer is a master improviser. He's so good.
I think all 3 of them are, and I think they all play off of each other so well that it would be really, really difficult to make something with the 3 of them as the stars and it not be funny. Like, that's why I like Mighty Wind so much, because it is like a soft spin-off almost of Spinal Tap. And I do believe that they used to open them for themselves.
Correct. I was going to say, the history there is they used to open as the Folksmen. They had the song Old Joe's Place. They actually performed it on SNL when I think both Guest and McKean were cast members.
Yes.
And they would open as the Folksmen, and they would get booed off stage halfway through Old Joe's Place. So they would go off stage and change costumes and come back on as Spinal Tap, and to raucous applause. Like, it's just absolutely. And I even saw there's a concert that they did, I would say within the past 20 years, where those 3 actors just got together and played a bunch of songs from Spinal Tap and A Mighty Wind, and also Waiting for Guffman, because Michael McKean wrote a bunch of songs for that movie as well. And they just it was just a night of them singing a bunch of their hits from the various movies that they've made together, and it was so good. O's.
Devo did something very, very similar. I know they're not really a comedy group, I guess, depending on how you look at what they're doing.
Right.
But they used to open for themselves as Dove, which is just Devo with the E and the O switched. And Dove was an acoustic Christian folk band.
Oh my God,
so
amazing.
They would play folk versions of Devo songs, dressed in suits and shit.
That's so amazing. That's so incredible. I want to know all about that. We can talk about that at a later time.
Oh yeah.
Tucker, when did you get into? Now, I first discovered Second City, SCTV, all of that, in this movie. Coincidentally, all of this I discovered in college. When did you kind of start with? When did you first see Strange Brew?
Well, I got into my sketch comedy phase in late middle school, early high school, and like I said, SCTV was always on my radar.
Right.
I understood what it was, who came from there, et cetera, et cetera. But really, the only thing I had was this movie to give me any kind of idea what that was. And I saw this probably, I want to say I was probably a junior or a senior in high school when I first saw this, because somebody brought it over to my house on a VHS and we watched it, and then they forgot to get it when they left, and then I never saw that person again. So I just had a VHS. So I just had it, and it's such a cool movie to put on for people who haven't seen it, because it's so absurd. Like, even the beginning, like, everything about it is, I don't know if it weren't coming from this unique comedic voice Bob and Doug McKenzie and the context of their characters, none of this shit would work because it's just bonkers. It's just fucking bonkers.
The way that I've heard it said is that the two of Dave Thomas decided that there needed to be a Bob and Doug McKenzie movie, and that it needed to be, he wanted it to be very, he wanted it to be like Hamlet. And so they handed it off to
I guess
Steve
it is.
Desjardins. It is 100% Hamlet. This totally this Hamlet. And Lion King are absolutely Hamlet. Like to the Elsinore's brother marries his wife. His wife's name is Gertrude. His name is Claude, short, I'm sure, for Claudius. Instead of Hamlet, we have Pamela. Like
Steven, Elsinore. I never
Elsinore is the place in Denmark where it takes place. Wow. Like Elsinore is the name of the beer company. It's Hamlet. It's fucking Hamlet. They're not even trying to hide it.
It's so obvious, but I never put it together. It's so obvious.
Elsinore was
my life has changed.
Elsinore was the klaxon call in my head, and I remember the movie vaguely because this is only the second time I've seen this. I remember vaguely.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I remember vaguely the name Elsinore from college, and I was like, "Is this Hamlet? Is like Disney's The Lion King? Is this just Hamlet?"
Yeah.
And so as I was watching it, I'm like, fucking A, this is 100% just Hamlet. Apparently the original draft of the script was very much Hamlet, like rigidly Hamlet. And they're like, you know what, just kind of like loosen up on that a little bit. Rick Moranis kind of backed out of writing for a little while. And then like Dave Thomas, I think, showed him what he was like what Steve had done and what he had kind of started rewriting in the script. And they decided, you know what, this isn't going to work because these characters are so us that unless we're the ones writing it, it's not going to be in our, like, we need to write it for our voices in order for this to make any kind of sense. So they kind of rewrote it, but they spent most of their time on the first half hour of the movie, which is why the first half hour of the movie is so fucking weird. Like with like the mutants, space mutants of 2051 AD or whatever the movie is at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
It's just, and they're like, if we'd had time to like do the rest of it, the rest of the movie would have been about that weird as well, which, I mean, there are parts of the movie that are that weird, like the stuff with Hosehead, like turning into Superman, like in the last act.
Yeah.
Like Doug or Bob drinking all the beer and like becoming just like completely inflated and then peeing out the fire on the
like
loony bin.
Good use of his predicament there.
Right.
I don't look like him right now, but I feel like him right now.
Do you need to go pee?
I do have to go pee. I'll put in a little thing here.
Do we need to like pause for the cause so we can both go pee and I can get another drink?
Yeah, but let's maybe where we were. What were we talking about? We were talking about how weird it was.
How weird the script is.
I know exactly what I need to say next. I'll just keep that in my head. I'll be right back, Steven.
I'm going to pause the recording.
Okay.
5 minutes later.
Do you remember what I was going to say? But I have an unrelated thing to say first. So start the recording.
You already started.
Shit.
You're going.
Okay.
We're live.
Steven.
We're doing it live.
Did I tell you? You heard about this? You seen about this? Have you seen this?
No, Jay, I haven't.
Oh, what? Did you called me by that?
I was actually referring to Jay Leno, who's the, this, you hear about this, you've seen this, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
The irony is not lost on me, but yes, go right ahead, please.
I love everything about that. So do you remember a couple episodes ago, and we stopped to have a pee break like we just did then, and I kept my headphones on, and the bathroom in this house is far away, so far away. And so as I walked over there, my headphones disconnected, then reconnected, and for some reason Zencastr designated my headphone mic as my mic. And remember, you could hear me pee for a second. You remember that?
I do very much remember that. Yes.
I hope it's seared.
That was another one of those remove the headphones, let Tucker have his moment kind of moments. Yes.
So, can I tell you, when I was recording with Pod of the Pendulum, I had a pee break because they were, well, wait a minute. They're talking about something, and I was like, oh, they're going to go on for a while, and I don't have really much to say about this, so I'm going to go pee. So I typed in the chat, I'm like, I'm going to go pee. Just keep going. I'll be right back. And so I completely forgot about the time where you heard me pee. And I'm standing there peeing, and I remembered it. And I'm like, oh, shit. And so I just turned off my headphones. Just turn them completely off. Like,
right, that's no the way. Move.
And so I finished up in the bathroom, and I came back, and they were like, "Oh, the recording stopped." And I was like, I did turn off my headphones." Like, and I explained to them what happened to us previously, and I was like, y'all didn't hear me pee, did you? You weren't listening to me pee, were you? You couldn't hear me pee, right?" And luckily, it did not redirect the mic that time.
That is
boy, I would have been embarrassed. So embarrassed.
As well you should.
Like, I have a lot of respect for some people, and I don't want them to listen to me pee.
I just recorded with two of those people yesterday, the 300th episode of the Pod and the Pendulum, which should, I believe is dropping this upcoming Monday as of the release of this episode. So be on the lookout for that. That was a 4-hour recording, and wow. Damn it, we had a blast. It was so much fun. I basically carved out my entire day for that.
Nice.
And it was like most of the hosting group from P&P plus a former co-host as well joined us. And we had just the best time just talking about the best horror movies of the last 25 years.
That's cool.
It was great.
But if you've already listened to that and you're like, oh, I like this podcast, just go to the episode right before that where your boy is on talking about
two
the remake. Two before on the remake.
Because this week, tomorrow, as of the day we're recording this episode, but 2 days ago, as of the release date, they released the Dawn of the Dead 2004, the James Gunn Zack Snyder film.
Oh,
they released that episode a couple days ago, so which I was not on that episode, so I don't know how. I'm sure it's great though, because Pod and Pendulum do good work. Love that podcast.
Yeah.
That before I started hosting on, like as one of the hosting panel, it was my favorite horror podcast. Like I started as a fan on that podcast,
and then Steven,
I got to come on and be a co-host on my favorite podcast, just like you did. So
just like me,
Steven,
we came up the same way. We started from the bottom.
Now we here.
Here we are. Look at us.
Here we are.
Hundreds, literally,
Look at us.
Hundreds, single-digit hundreds of people listen to us, Steven.
Three figures of people listening to us.
That's a
so
lot
Tucker,
of people.
We were prior to our urination break discussing the weirdness of the script, and you had something to say, and I want to loop you back in on that.
I do know what I was about to say in response to what you had just said, Steven. If you roll the tape back, you'll see that this is a perfectly logical response to that point. That being said, Steven, I really appreciate that the script, they give themselves time to improvise. Mm-hmm. Like, there are a lot of scripted moments in this, and the characters do what they do. But there's also, they just give themselves opportunities to just kind of do whatever. Like, basically most of the beginning of this movie. At the end, I thought the end credits was the most sincere. I really enjoyed that because you could tell they were having a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
and I really enjoy. I enjoy the improvisation in this film, and I think in most films I wouldn't appreciate the fact that it's so obvious when it's taking place, but in this one I kind of do, because it's like, oh, we're doing this whole big deal thing, but then also maybe we can hang out and just kind of riff for a while and then go back to that.
It works for this film in particular because Second City is born out of improvisation. Like, Del Close is kind of one of the godfathers of improvisational comedy, and one of the like great minds behind the Second City. So like Second City is a lot of the sketches and characters are born out of this kind of improvisational nature. And so I think it works well for and again, I am speaking as someone who did improv in college. In fact, I was a founding member of my college's improv comedy team, and they're still going. In fact, I'm closer now to them than it is, because I'm never going to have children. So that is my legacy. It 100% is my legacy. And I've told them that. And they thought that was very funny.
I feel like there should be a painting of you, like wherever they meet, you know?
There should, but a lot of other things meet there. So there's no way that's going to happen.
Maybe a bench with a placard. It's like
something. The thing is, we would have to donate money to the school in order to get any kind of shit like that. And none of us want to do that. But I really do. I would love to go back and see kind of one of their shows now. And I not be like, hey, you guys, because I'm in my fucking 40s. Like, you guys know, I used to be a part of it. I started this thing. You're here because of me. Like, I don't want to do that.
Wrong, Steven.
No, I don't want to do that.
At the end of the performance, the rest of the audience leaves. You're sitting there alone, and suddenly, from the stage, they notice you as you start a slow clap. You rise out of the darkness, Steven, and then, you reveal yourself to them for what you are and who you are. And it's a big cinematic moment.
I've loved improv comedy for a very long time. And so when a couple of my friends just in my sophomore year of college said, hey, we're going to start an improv team, I jumped on that shit. And I was in that group all the last 3 years of my college career. I was a founding member. I know all the inside jokes, all the lore. I don't know how much of that shit got passed down to the current cast, but man, I would love to go back and see what they're doing now, because I feel like I would have a really great time watching that. But yeah, I love improv comedy. I actually got to go to Second City for the first time for my birthday this year.
How was that?
It was fucking great. Like,
there are other second cities, but that's the second city.
The Chicago Second City is the second city, because Chicago is the second city.
Second city, yeah.
And so I got to go, and they were doing like, it's an anniversary year for them. So they were kind of recounting like the legacy of Second City, but also in the same breath, they're like, we're not doing any of the sketches those people from, but we're doing sketches that were written by those people, and then sketches that we've written. And it was the touring company of Second City that was performing it. So they're like the ones that like go around the country performing this shit. And it was a blast. It was so much fun. And they do have like the scripted sketches, but they also have the improvisational moments, like where they'll call out like for suggestions from the audience. At one point they asked like, what's the best gift you've ever gotten? And I yelled out Second City tickets. And one of the performers looked down at me and goes, oh, that's so sweet.
You had a moment, Steven. And it was your birthday.
It was technically the day after my birthday. My partner's sister and her family and us went, and because my partner's nephew and I share a birthday. We have the same birthday. So we all kind of went to, and it was his 13th birthday. So he's finally allowed to go to Second City. So we all kind of went together, and it was so much fun. I had such a great time. If you're in Chicago, go see the Second City. They are, and again, the Canadian, like the Canadian branch of Second City is how both Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas got their start, but like the Second City, that's where Dan Aykroyd came out of that.
John Candy.
I think John Belushi as well. Both of the Belushis actually came out of Bill Murray came out of the Second City.
Yep.
Like what we know Ramis as SNL started. Yes, Harold Ramis as well. Much of what we know as Second City or as Saturday Night Live came out of National Lampoon, which borrowed heavily from the Second City. So like National Lampoon and Second City kind of merged to create what we know as Saturday Night Live. Gilda Radner was a Second City alum. Like so much of what we know as SNL got pulled right out of Second City.
And they still get people from there famously Amy Poehler was. Well, no, she was Groundlings. Sorry.
No, she was Upright Citizens Brigade. She was a founding member of the Upright Citizens Brigade.
There you go. That's the one I'm thinking of. But I mean, they're still getting people from
Tim
Second
Robinson
City.
Came from Second City. A.D. Bryant came from Second City. Like before the show started, my partner and I were kind of roaming the halls of Second City, like looking at all the posters of the shows that had been presented previously and just kind of looking for names that we recognized. And not everybody was someone that we recognized, but like Tim Balls from The Righteous Gemstones was a Second City guy. Like Sam Robinson, who is or not. I got his name wrong. He's Tim Robinson's.
In the Detroiters.
Co-guy.
He's the other guy.
In the Detroiters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sam.
And he was.
What is it? Robert? Dang, I can't think of it either, Steven. You got to look it up.
I'm in the process.
Good.
I
feel bad. I like that guy.
He was in a future episode of this podcast, Werewolves Within. Sam Richardson. It started with an R and ended with a
also in what was that Apple TV Plus show where it was like every episode there was a murder and every episode was one character's after party.
Yes, After Party.
He was in that.
Yes.
Oh, it's
he's so good in After Party.
Yes,
I love him in After.
Show.
He's like the main character in After. He's apparently in Veep as well.
I love the end of that show. Like it's okay that there's no more episodes because I love that ending where
the ending is
Elijah
so
Wood
good.
is there. Like
Elijah Wood is Ben Schwartz. Yeah, it's so good. Like that is, and that's another kind of improv heavy show where they have kind of a basic outline, but you can tell like so many of those performers are really great improvisers, and the riffing is unmatched, unparalleled. Go watch After Party. That show fucking rips. So Sam Richardson is so good in that. Sam Richardson is one of my favorite kind of up and coming comedy guys. Even though, again, calling him an up and coming comedy guy feels reductive because he's been doing this thing for decades. Yeah. But like, he's not a well-known name at this point.
I think he's getting there. He's certainly getting there.
He's building his cachet for sure. But yeah, like Tim Robinson of I Think You Should Leave fame got his was in SNL and he got his start in Second City. That's actually where the two of them met and like started working together.
They are friends.
They are friends. they like each other. But yeah, like Second City is kind of like a veritable who's who of comedy. And it's like half the important names that came out of comedy came from Second City. And that's no small feat. There's one in Toronto. There's one in Chicago. And I don't know how many other like locations they have.
I think this movie takes place in Toronto, doesn't it? There's one shot where I was like, oh shit, I think that's Toronto.
Toronto has become kind of like one of the great stand-ins for like any city ever. Like it acts as a stand-in for Indianapolis in the movie Eagle Eye, which as I'm watching the movie Eagle Eye, I'm like, fuck you, that's not Indianapolis.
That's nothing on 56th Street looks like that.
100%.
Not 1 inch of it looks like that.
They're like, I watched Eagle Eye once, like shortly after it came out on DVD. I think my roommate at the time and I rented it, and I was like, "Fuck you, that's not Indianapolis."
I was like, what's he gonna go down and get on the subway next? What the fuck? Come on.
Right. Yeah, we don't have one of those here. Fuck you. Yeah, no, that's 100%. But like Toronto, like it I would not be at all because Toronto's kind of one of those great film cities. Like if you need a stand-in for if you need a stand-in for a metropolitan area, like Vancouver and Toronto are your go-to places for like cheap. Yep. Apparently Atlanta's not it anymore. Like Atlanta's not the place.
No, it was for a while, but I think they're kind of moving on. It had its time.
Yeah, everything's shifting over to London now, to England. Elstree Studios, like all the they've got like 3 major studios over in that over across the pond there. But yeah,
it comes and goes. The business that is.
Correct. As it stands, though, I would not be surprised if this movie was shot in Toronto.
Just the skyline looks like Toronto.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 100%. Apparently, the role of Brewmeister Smith was written for Max von Sydow. And they were like, I don't think we can actually get him, so they called the studio head and say, hey, call him in Sweden and just tell him the story of the movie. And like the head of the studio had recently made the movie Victory, which von Sydow was in. And so he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And apparently his son was a big fan of SCTV. And so that's how he got into this movie, which I find really fucking funny because Max von Sydow in this movie is like he's one of the few dramatic actors that can really pull off comedy. Like this movie comes out 10 years after The Exorcist.
I'm saying if he had the wants and the desire, he could have been peak Leslie Nielsen kind of shit.
He's got the chops.
He could be doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got the chops.
I really love it too when actors do roles like for their kids and stuff they have no interest in.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's really sweet when
like Bob Hoskins in Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah. I just think that's really sweet.
Bob Hoskins is like, I don't know what this shit is. And his kids are like, Mario's great. Do Mario. And he's like, okay, I'll do Mario.
Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever. He's like, I don't know. My kids wanted me to do it. So I just really think that's great.
My favorite story of Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever is he gets the script, he reads it, he calls the producer who's a friend of his, and he goes, I don't get this. And he goes, okay, like you read the role. And he goes, yeah. He goes, and you kind of know what's on the page. He goes, yeah. He goes, here's what I want you to do. I want you to read it again and pretend that Academy Award winner Tommy fucking Lee Jones is playing the role. And he's like, oh, okay. And so he reads it, and that's the reason he does the film. Because again, that's his fantastic. Kids love Batman. And but of course we all know he cannot sanction Jim Carrey's buffoonery.
I mean, I'm not mad at him. Like I disagree with him, but I'm not mad. I got a lot of respect for Tommy Lee Jones.
I get it. Like my parents could also not sanction Jim Carrey's buffoonery in the early 90s.
Did you see Tommy Lee Jones climb that hill in that Jeep in Coal Miner's Daughter? Boy,
no, I didn't.
I respect that.
I have not seen Coal Miner's Daughter.
It's like it's a very steep angle, and he's just in this old. You should see it. It's really good. Sissy Spacek. It's the story of Loretta Lynn.
No, I want to see it, and like it's on my list for sure.
I think I have two DVD copies of it. If you need to borrow one,
I will accept that on your behalf.
I'll throw in for a double feature Urban Cowboy, which
I do. Oh no, I haven't seen Urban Cowboy. I've seen Midnight Cowboy is the one that I've seen.
That's a very different film.
Very, very yes. This I know,
very
Tucker.
Different.
This I know. Everybody's talking at me. One of two movies that ends with Dustin Hoffman in the back of a bus, just sitting dead-eyed while the person next to him isn't making eye contact. The other one, of course, being The Graduate.
The Graduate, yeah. That's a great ending.
While like a folk anthem starts playing over the
I love it because that's a moment that everybody has at some point.
Yeah.
And I really like how much of a downer that is because it's so real. It's so real.
Of course.
Like that's what
spoilers for Midnight Cowboy, a movie that's been out for the better part of, honestly, I think it came out before I was alive. So the better part of 4 years.
I was spoiling The Graduate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of Midnight Cowboy, of course, he's dead-eyed because he's actually dead.
Yeah. He's passed at that point.
So fucking dead.
Yeah. He's so good.
He's got he's so good in that. Like, I think his character's got like fucking tuberculosis or something in that movie.
Yes.
It's so, and John Voight in that movie also very fucking good. Like John Voight is so, like, again, John Voight now, motherfucker, fuck that guy. But like John Voight in Midnight Cowboy, Fucking A.
Yeah.
Also in that movie, one of your guys, Bob Balaban, in that movie. An early Bob Balaban performance in that movie.
Yes. I always forget he's in it. I always forget. And then I'm like, oh.
How can you forget Bob Balaban's in that movie? Bob Balaban is like the most memorable part of that movie.
Yo, Steven, was Bob Balaban in that new Wes Anderson movie? I don't think I saw him in that. Did you watch that yet? Oh, you don't like Wes Anderson.
I don't like Wes Anderson. No, I feel the same way about Wes Anderson that you feel about Mel Brooks.
Yeah, no, I get it. That is very fair. And with Wes Anderson, it really, I think a lot has to do with how you get into it too.
Correct. Yeah. And Wes Anderson, for me, Wes Anderson is gateway cinephilia. Like when you start becoming a cinephile, you have to get through Wes Anderson.
You have to. He does so many things. I mean, there's nobody does it like him. Whether it's good or bad, whether you like it or not, nobody does it exactly like that. And I don't think anybody could.
Correct. No, and that is why I feel like Wes Anderson is gateway cinephilia. Like you get through Wes Anderson to get onto the meteor stuff.
Yeah.
In my opinion, again, not everyone's going to feel the same way about Wes Anderson than I do, and that's okay. Like, and here's the thing: I cannot deny Wes Anderson is very good at what he does. What he does is just not for me.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I don't think Bob Balaban was in that Phoenician Scheme, though. I do love that he's in some of his movies, though, because he's kind of the perfect. Like before he was in them, I can't believe I wasn't like, man, Bob Balaban would be good in one of these. But I saw him in one, and I think the first one that he was in was maybe Moonrise Kingdom, and I do not like Moonrise Kingdom, but I really like Bob Balaban in that movie. Like when I saw that movie, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Where's he been in all the other movies? Was this the first time we're seeing Bob Balaban and Wes Anderson for real? Seems like such a perfect fit.
Is he in Asteroid City as well? I've not seen Asteroid City yet. Okay.
Yes, he is.
He is in Asteroid City. He is not in Phoenician Scheme.
Yeah, I knew it. I didn't see him. I was surprised I didn't see him. I was hoping to see him.
He's also in The French Dispatch as well. Like, he feels like the perfect kind of actor for Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The funny thing for me is that Ralph Fiennes shows up in a Wes Anderson film. Like, he shows up in
well, he's in a couple of them.
He is, but the first one is the Grand Budapest Hotel.
That's his movie, yeah. Like he's kind of the star of that movie.
Right, he is the central point. But like, everything that Anderson does is so it's intricate. Like he is kind of like a twee David Fincher in a lot of ways. Like everything he does is very like and every actor is like a doll in his movies. Like the actors are kind of just like a part of the grand, a part of the image. They're not actually acting. They are just kind of there to stand in a certain way and be. And Ralph Fiennes got so fucking frustrated during Grand Budapest. He's like, I'm a fucking actor. Like, give me some motivate. Give me something to work with. And I just find that so funny. Because like
was the same way. He didn't get it either. Like he was like, they famously like did not talk to each other for most of the shoot on Royal Tenenbaums.
Which I will say, Royal Tenenbaums might be the one Wes Anderson movie that I really get, like that really connects with me.
Yeah,
like, that's the one.
I love Gene Hackman in that, and that kind of speaks to both of their talents. Wes Anderson as a director and Gene Hackman as an actor. For them to not even be able to see eye and eye, but still like make exactly what they wanted to make, and it's perfect. That's both of those guys. Yeah. Fantastic.
100%. That's the one Wes Anderson film I own. Like I have the Criterion edition of the Criterion DVD of Royal Tenenbaums.
It's a good one.
And it's the first Wes Anderson film I saw. It's the only one I've revisited. Yeah. And I've seen enough. I've not seen a lot of Wes Anderson, but I've seen enough to know that his thing is not my thing. Which I at some point I will probably force myself to watch Wes Anderson, and I may come out the other side with a different perspective. But I've not seen a lot of Wes Anderson, but I've seen again enough to know that that's not what I'm going to the movies for. Like I've not seen Bottle Rocket yet. You've recommended Bottle Rocket to me a number of times. I've not seen Rushmore yet. You've recommended Rushmore to me a number of times. Like I feel like some of his early stuff before he like locks into that every frame a painting kind of
before Steve Zissou, yes. Yes.
Yeah, that one I've seen in that one. That's the one I tapped out on. I was like, Life Aquatic, fucking no thank you.
There's some really fun stuff there, but as a whole, for me, it doesn't really do anything for me either. I think, Steven, for you, his first 3 films are going to be for you, and after that, nah. I'm excited for you to see Bottle Rocket and Rushmore, and I'd love to almost kind of maybe do a theme month. I mean, because it's not like any of those movies are going to get sequels.
But none of them were intended to either, and that's kind of the thing that disqualifies them. Is every film he makes is kind of
I know,
is crystallized in amber.
Then that's perfect. We can just put it on. We can put Rushmore and Bottle Rocket on the ever expanding straight up list, and we'll get to them eventually.
One of these days, perhaps, maybe. And speaking of Bob Balaban, which is how we got onto the Wes Anderson train. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in a movie ever is between Bob Balaban and Michael Hitchcock in the aforementioned A Mighty Wind, when Bob Balaban is freaking out about everything on stage. And like, he's like, what about the light? And Michael Hitchcock just slaps him on his bald pate, and they cut immediately because everybody, like no one in the crew could stop themselves.
How could you?
Because it was so unexpected. It was not scripted. It was completely improvised, as most of the Christopher Guest films are.
The timing was perfect.
It's just kind of one of those perfect. And it was Michael Hitchcock just going, God, he's annoying, and slapping him on his bald head. And it's a perfect moment. And that brings us back to improvisation, which brings us back to
we fucking did
Strange Brew.
Strange Brew. We did it. I'm so proud of us for kind of bringing that full circle, you know?
He just made the international symbol of the donut. Fucking A. Like, I love, like, again, I saw this movie once before. I saw it in college. I was visiting a friend who was a big fan of this movie. I was staying over at his place. Like, I think it was when I was in a ministry group at my Christian college, and we were staying at one of the members' houses, and he's like, oh, you guys haven't seen Strange Brew? We got to watch Strange Brew. And me, who had never drank beer before, or if I had, it was like a sip from my uncle's Miller Lite, which was shit. Yeah. So I was like, I don't understand like why these guys like beer so much. And now I'm like, oh, I can't drink beer as much because of the beatus. So I wish I could be drinking a beer right now as I'm watching this movie. Right. It's not fun. And then also, again, the theater geek in me just loving the Hamlet parallels of this movie so much. Mm-hmm. And like, there's so much in this movie, like it's layers. My partner was trying to watch it with me. God bless her. I love her so much. She was like, the A's just started grating on me. She's like, half the dialogue is A, the other like half of that is hoser. Like, it's just so
to
much.
Their credit, though,
playing.
To their credit, though, they always pull back on it right when it's about to get really annoying.
They really do.
Always, I think it builds and builds and builds, and then
disagree. But yes,
there's a rhythm to it, and it's really impressive to where they can keep it irritating, but not make it unbearable.
Which I think is why they decided that they were the ones that really needed to write and direct this movie. Like, I think in anybody else's hands, it might have crossed that threshold or not been enough. But they find really the right balance for the A's and the hosers and the like distinctly Canadian dialogue of this film.
The knobs.
You knob. Can we just talk about the opening of this movie? Like the opening scenes of this movie when they're with the MGM logo and the lion belches, and then you hear them like
that
talking.
Lion's tail for real. Steven.
He does
for real. He grabs his tail.
there's a real fucking lion, and Dave Thomas really grabs that lion's tail and starts spinning it like a crank.
Madman. Like a madman.
Yes. Absolutely insane. Like, I don't know. Like, that lion must have been tranquilized, because there's no way.
He's still alive. I'm so glad he's still alive.
He's still alive. He's still out there doing shit. Dave Thomas
I worry for him every time I see this movie. I worry for him every time he turns that light. I'm like, this is going to be the time. This is going to be
ballpark it for me, Tucker. How many times have you seen Strange Brew? Just ballpark it.
Fuck. I'm going to say less than 50, but more than 30.
Okay. That's a lot.
Well, I had a lot of people to show it to back in the day when I first got it. And
this feels like a contender for a straight up. Honestly, it kind of does.
It could be a straight up. I would probably do it if it weren't fit for main feed.
I was gonna say it's 100% something we could absolutely cover, because again, one of the criteria that we go off of for this for the feed is like, are there established characters that are riffing off of, like, is it based on an established IP? And if it is, and it doesn't get a sequel, then we absolutely throw it on the list. And this is established IP. It comes out of SCTV, which comes itself out of Second City. Like, that is established IP. Yeah. So in this movie, we'll get to the box office here, I'm sure, relatively soon.
Very shortly,
and,
yes.
Yeah. Because we've been here an hour, and yeah. But like, this movie did not have the box office to warrant a sequel, and honestly, I don't know what Shakespearean play they would riff on for a sequel to this, because they are essentially the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of this movie.
Yes,
this is in effect the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Like, this is kind of, I would say, more than Hamlet. This is Rosencrantz, and this is a kind of a riff on Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead, because Bob and Doug are 100% the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of this movie. Or if you're more of a Disney fan, the Timon and Pumbaa of this movie. Yeah,
absolutely. And there was not a direct sequel to this film, and there has not been another Bob and Doug theatrical film, but the characters have carried on. I think if I'm not mistaken, there was an animated series, and it's one of the only things that Rick Moranis did between now and when he retired after his wife's death.
He's very, very choosy about what he comes back to do, which I fucking admire about the man. Like, he came back to reprise the role of Dark Helmet. He played basically he and Dave Thomas play Moose versions of Bob and Doug in the Brother Bear, both the original Brother Bear movie and the direct-to-video Brother Bear sequel.
And look, Rick Moranis got in at a good time, because he's not in a lot of movies, but he's in a lot of movies that made a lot of money. And if he has residuals on any of those, dude is set.
Rick Moranis, what a fucking career this man had. Like, again, not everything he was in was gold, but the man was in, here's a thing I didn't know, he's in Streets of Fire.
Yeah.
The Walter Hill film Streets of Fire, the same year that he's in Ghostbusters, which is the year after this movie. He's in one of my favorite Walter Hill movies, Brewster's Millions, in a very small role that I absolutely love. He's in Little Shop of Horrors, one of my favorite movie musicals of all time. Probably number 2, right behind Bob Fosse's Cabaret.
That might not be the best movie that he's in, but I think that's peak Rick Moranis right there.
It is.
He's firing on all cylinders in that movie, dude. Fuck,
that is so 1986. Good. The year after that, he does Spaceballs. 2 years after Spaceballs, he does Ghostbusters 2. The same year as Ghostbusters 2, he's in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes.
Also, Parenthood the same year. 89 is a good year for, 89 might be peak Rick Moranis. I think Little Shop might be his greatest performance, because it really captures everything he does well. But in terms of exposure, 89 might be the best year, because you do have Ghostbusters 2, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and Parenthood in the same fucking year. And all of those movies did did box
They
office.
did very well, and I love Parenthood. I think Rick Moranis in Parenthood is probably my second favorite performance of his.
Oh, right. I've not seen Parenthood. I need to check that out then.
It's an ensemble movie of just really fantastic performers.
I was going to say, I know
performances.
Steve Martin's in that. Keanu Reeves
Steve
is
Martin.
in that. Like it's a great cast.
Yes, he is. River Phoenix before he was
Mary Steenburgen, Dion Weiss, Jason Robards, Tom Hulse, Martha Plimpton.
Yes.
Oh God, Dennis Dugan, Joaquin Phoenix.
Dude.
Fuck, I need to see this movie. It's on Netflix right now.
I can't believe you haven't seen Parenthood, dude. It's probably one of the best family movies ever made, because there's like some adult shit in this, but you could watch this with your family. But
which is why I didn't see it in 1989 when it came out. But I absolutely remember the poster of Steve Martin holding two kids by their ankles. Like I remember that poster.
It is a comedy, but it's for its time. It's very emotionally stimulating. Like it's very relatable. Like it's a big family, so like each little offshoot of the family is, this different archetype. So everybody kind of has somebody to latch on to, and it's just so well written. I think it's directed by Ron Howard, isn't it? I think it's one of my favorite Ron Howard movies.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame you if it was.
Narrator,
you've also
it was
next the year after that, it was a Ron Howard film. The year after that, you've got My Blue Heaven, based on the same, like that, and Goodfellas coming out the same year, based on the same subject matter. Wow. Again, another pairing of Moranis and Martin there. You've got L.A. Story in 91, Honey, I Blew Up the Kids in 92. The Flintstones, the first movie I saw in a drive-in in 94 as Barney Rubble.
He did all right. I liked him.
Little Giants, also in 94, a rental staple in the Foxworthy household growing up.
Okay, I'm glad you guys liked it.
We did. He's in a movie with Tom Arnold in 90. It kind of does. In 96, he's in Big Bully with Tom Arnold. We Shrunk Ourselves in 97. And I think his wife dies right around that time, because then the next thing he's in is he's a voice in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Island of Misfit Toys in 2001. And then in 2003, that's when he starts his voice acting stint. Miss Spider's Sunny Patch Kids in 2003, Brother Bear also in 2003, the sequel to Brother Bear in 2006. Like after that point, and then of course in 2007, what you were referring to, Bob and Doug McKenzie's 2-4 anniversary.
Yes, I have seen those animated shorts, and they are a good time.
And then, of course, the big return was in 2018. After not returning for any of the Ghostbusters movies, he comes back on The Goldbergs to play Dark Helmet. Yeah. And, of course, there is a Spaceballs 2 that is coming out, directed by Josh Greenbaum. And he is slated to return as his role as
Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet. I fucking forgot the name. I'm sorry. Look, I've had a couple. We've been going an hour.
Like that movie, Steven, and I'm correcting you on it. No, but speaking of me not liking that movie, I think Spaceballs is probably, if there even is a least favorite Mel Brooks film of mine that I've seen, it's probably Spaceballs. But you know what? I will see Spaceballs 2 if Rick Moranis is there. I just will. Yes. I don't even care if I hate it. I just want to see my boy again,
You know who else is in it is our girl Keke Palmer.
Oh, I do love her.
I love her
so much.
I was literally singing her praises the other, like on the Pod and Pendulum 25 the other day, because made the list. And I'm absolutely fucking in love with Keke Palmer. Like, she doesn't want it, but she could get it.
No,
I'll just say
her SNL episode was fantastic, and for me, it culminated in my favorite sketch of probably the last decade, which is the one that is famous amongst us disenfranchised boys, and sometimes in the group chat. But at the end of day.
Attend a day. Yeah, you guys.
She is in that sketch.
More you and
fantastic.
Brett than me, but yes.
Okay, Lur.
Lur.
Yeah,
that one does. I apparently also Bill Pullman's son, Lewis Pullman, he of Thunderbolts fame, is going to be in the film as well as a character called Starburst, which fucking hilarious. Josh Gad is apparently going to be in it.
Thunderbolts?
He is Bob.
And that's
the Sentry. That's Bill Pullman's kid.
Really?
Yes.
And you got Kurt Russell's kid in there too, as U.S. agent.
Correct. You got a couple nepo babies in that movie.
I understand why people have negative thoughts towards nepo babies, but also, how cool is that? Is what I'm saying.
When they're actually talented, it's really nice. When they are actually talented and can do the work, it's really nice. When they're not,
and
it's really frustrating.
And spoilers for the next what are we watching? I just saw the Thunderbolts for the first time a couple days ago.
Okay, yeah, it's on my list as well.
Again. I didn't know that was Bill Pullman's kid, but now I see it. He's got that chin and fuck.
He is his daddy's boy, 100%.
Wow. It's all falling into place. It's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Let's get to the numbers, Steven. I don't know if I can handle much more.
First of all, I just to tap it out. This movie is so much fun. It is an absolute blast. We've not talked a lot about it. We've kind of talked around it, but it's kind of one of those things.
About it.
Yeah. It's one of those this is a movie we like, so there's not a lot of bad stuff to like. What is there to talk about? We like it. It's fun.
And it's a comedy, so I don't want 50% of this to be just us repeating jokes and doing impressions.
Yeah. Right.
So,
correct.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, I know. This movie opens August 19th, 1983. I've been alive for exactly a month when this movie comes out. Because my birthday is literally July 18th. So a month and a day I have been on this earth as a person.
Now, Steven,
what's your living being?
Now that you've told us your birthday, can you give us your mother's maiden name, please?
Yes, 100%. Let me just go ahead and repeat that here on air. And there's that. Tucker, I'm praying that you bleeped that when I said that. Also, let me give
I will now. I'm here right now, and I can say that I will. Let me.
Right. Let me also give my social while we're here.
Please do. And your elementary school, your first grade teacher's name, your first pet, if you could.
Yep. And just in case we forget to bleep any of that, let me just say here for the record.
You fuck! You son of a fuck! Boy, I tell you what, that was a good one, Steven. You got me. I tell you what, you got me. You straight up got me. I respect you for it. I hate you and I respect you for it.
That's all I ask. This movie opens August 19th, 1983. It doesn't even show up in the top 30. It actually doesn't show up in the top 30 till the following week. Which is kind of
always
how,
a rental, a heavy rental.
Yes.
This was never going to be a huge theatrical thing, but I'll bet the video rentals more than made up for that.
On a budget of $4 million, it gets a domestic box office of $7 million. So it almost doubles it, which again, it probably breaks even in the grand scheme of things. It breaks even.
And I was saying, in those days when video stores would buy these tapes, they would buy them for $80 to $100 a piece.
Yes.
And so if they were renting them heavily, they would order more. And that's how movies made money off of rentals in those days.
That's it. 100%.
And I feel like this movie probably made some money, but not in the right ways. Or maybe I don't know if there was any desire to do a sequel or anything. Maybe it was always just kind of just going to be a silly little movie that made some money and people liked, a cult classic, made to be a cult classic, maybe.
Opening at number 1 this week, brand new at the box office, Rodney Dangerfield, Joe Pesci, and Jennifer Jason Leigh in an Orion Pictures film called Easy Money.
And that's why Orion went bankrupt. Not Bill and Ted, not RoboCop, none of that. It's this bullshit.
No. They stuck around until 1990 because Orion, one of 2 movies that I think of when I see the Orion logo is Silence of the Lambs, which came out in 1990.
Well,
the other one is a future episode of this podcast called Mac and Me.
Yes, MGM owns them now, and they've been doing some Orion. They've been using the logo.
It's been coming back recently, which I really fucking appreciate. At number 2, up from number 3 the week before, a little Tom Cruise, Leah Thompson action called Risky Business.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Which across its 3 weeks in the box office has earned $20 million. Coming up from number 13 to number 3 in its 5th week at the box office.
Word of mouth, right?
Right? Michael Keaton, Terry Garr, Mr. Mom.
That's like Scream levels.
Classic.
That's like Scream levels of word of mouth because Scream tanked initially. And it wasn't until like 3 or 4 weeks later, they're about to pull it. And all of a sudden, the word of mouth brought it back like way the fuck up. That was insane. I've never seen anything like that before.
Your boy Zach Kreger's movie Weapons is number 1 at the box office.
It went back up.
Which I was going to try to see it this weekend and I didn't get to, so I'm glad it's going to be sticking around. So hopefully next weekend I can get out to see it. At number 4, the kickoff of a franchise in 4 weeks, it's earned $36.4 million. It's National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, the OG. Okay.
The OG, yeah. In 5th place, a Stephen King adaptation called Cujo.
We did that for the podcast. Steven, there's an episode. We did an episode on this. On Cujo.
On Cujo? We did not.
You son of a bitch. Look.
I've never seen Cujo, so I know we've never done an episode on Cujo.
No, we totally did. Oh, it was Christine.
We did not.
But why did I watch Cujo?
We did Christine. Because you wanted to watch the Stephen King adaptation?
I would never subject myself to that. It's a good movie, but it upsets me because I love Sweet Doggies. Why would I? Are you sure there's not an episode?
100%.
Okay.
100% positive. We've never covered Cujo. At number 6, it's the number 1 movie of the year that I was born. In 13 weeks, it's earned $222.5 million. It's a little film called Return of the Jedi.
Oh, people love that movie.
They
talk about that movie in this movie.
A little bit, yeah.
They say that he saw Jedi 17 times when he's pretending to be Darth Vader's.
In 7th place, I feel like this might be a future episode of the podcast. It's called Hunter from the Future, opening this week at $2.8 million. I've never heard of this. I feel like this is a future episode of the podcast.
Put it on the list, Steven.
Another one that I feel might be a future episode of the podcast at number 8, Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin.
Oh, it opens of course. $2 million. Jared Sin. Familiar person we're all aware of. So much so that you would say in the title of your movie and think that we're going to recognize it and give a fuck.
Any movie that has kind of that subtitle, it feels destined for this podcast, honestly, unless it manages to eke out a sequel. In 9th place, down from 6th the week before, a movie I love, also a movie starring a couple of sketch comedians from one of our favorite sketch comedy shows. A little movie called Trading Places. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, and the great
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Also, Denham Elliott in that movie.
Yes.
And in 10th place, the biggest movie of the year, the biggest movie the week I was born. It was number 1 the week of my birth. It is a sequel. It is one of the early Sylvester Stallone directed films. It stars John Travolta. It is called
Staying Alive. Yeah.
Staying Alive.
Yes. Staying Alive, yeah. I can't believe, here's the thing. I was discussing this with my mother recently because that's everything that she loves right there in one movie, and she's never seen it. That's you got amazing. Sylvester Stallone writing and directing. Come the fuck on. And then John Travolta's in that bitch dancing his dick off. Mom,
yeah, he is.
How have you not seen this? This owns the corner lot of your alley, dude. What the fuck? And she's never seen it. She's never seen it.
I'm going to do something I rarely do. I'm going to go below the line because there's some great below the line shit here.
Ooh, I'm excited.
This is just a great movie, a great week at the box office. In 11th place, you've got Flashdance. 12th place, you've got future episode of the podcast, War Games. 13, you've got Getting It On. 14, Curse of the Pink Panther. 15, Smokey and the Bandit Part 3. 16, Jaws 3D.
The Bandit?
Smokey is the Bandit. In 16, you've got Jaws 3, Jaws 3D. I said that already. In 17, you've got Octopussy. That's the Dennis Quaid one.
Yeah, with SeaWorld and the still image of a shark moving forward. Like, did they really think that we were going to be okay with that? Like,
they did. They really did. In 21st place, you've got future episode of this podcast, Krull. This Crodcast. In 23rd place, Porky's 2, the next day. 25, The Man Who Wasn't There. Like, just such fucking great week at the box office.
But not The Man Who Wasn't There with Billy Bob Thornton, not the Coen Brothers movie.
Correct. This is the one with Steve Guttenberg and Jeffrey Tambor.
Very different.
Yes. Directed by Bruce Malmuth. I honestly would kind of like to see it. Let's do it.
Disenfranchised special episode.
There
double
it is.
Feature of the Man Who Wasn't There.
I have legitimately pulled up the box office or the numbers for Your Hunter from the Future and Metal Storm: The Destruction of Jared Sin, so that I can see if those are worthy of being added.
Are those even real movies? Somebody's messing with you, Steven.
I feel like maybe
somebody's playing a joke on you. They hacked.
You might be right.
Matthew Lillard and his friends, Angelina Jolie and all them, hacked into your shit. They're in, Steven. They're in. Okay.
Hack the planet. Fucking Johnny Greenwood, get out of my computer. The tomatometer score for Strange Brew is a 75%, well deserved. The critics' consensus, though lowbrow in intent and outcome, Strange Brew effectively mines laughs from its unique premise and likable stars. Hard agree. The Metascore on this one is a straight up 50, right down the middle, based on mixture average reviews from 6 critics. Tucker, would you care to guess what the Letterboxd score for Strange Brew is?
The Letterboxd score is between 3.3 and 3.8.
Oh my God, you just got there. 3.3 it is.
Really? I expected it to be higher. Like, I was being cautious because I felt like it was going to be higher. Really?
No, it
wow.
It is 3.3. It is 100% a 3.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So out of the 5 stars that we could potentially give it, Tucker, how many are you giving to Bob and Doug's only theatrical outing, Strange Brew?
This is a 3.5 star movie for me because I really like it. It's infinitely rewatchable. And I don't know. It's well done. Like, everybody does what they're supposed to do, and it's not always conventional, but for me, it always works. It always works. Even at double speed, which I watched it.
Yeah, because you somehow didn't fucking watch it beforehand.
No, it's because the holiday weekend. I was like, oh, tomorrow's Monday because I'm not working today. But it turns out today is Monday. So
correct. Yeah. I watched it this morning. I literally woke up and watched this movie. I had my coffee in hand watching this movie.
Oh, I bet that's nice. I've never watched it in the morning, like while I'm getting my morning on, having a coffee.
It is very nice. And I've taken to, do you know about coffee milk, Tucker? Are you familiar with this? You know about this? You heard about this? You seen this?
I'm familiar with both of those words separately. And for me, if someone said the words to me, coffee milk, I'd be like, oh, you mean coffee creamer? You talking about like a creamer?
No,
but you're not.
The official drink of Rhode Island. It's like which again, coming from the New England, I would expect you to maybe know this.
The smallest state, the smallest group of people. It's famous from that.
Correct.
Got it. Okay,
yes.
cool.
It is. There's something called coffee syrup, and you can add that to milk, and it's like chocolate milk but coffee.
No,
it is delicious. I love it so much.
You could froth it and make like a latte. I could see that.
What I do is I literally just use that as the milk and sugar for my coffee. Is I will add that to the milk. I will drink most of the mug, and then what is left in the mug at the bottom, I will pour the coffee over, and that will be like my creamer for my coffee, and it is delicious.
I have a new favorite gas station coffee order, Steven, as I've been in Shelbyville for the last 3 weeks, and every morning we go and get a drink, and sometimes I get a coffee. And what I do is I get the 24-ounce. I fill it half with their mocha, half with hot chocolate, and then those little like creamer tubs, but it's not creamer, it's shots of espresso.
Correct.
I put 2 of them bitches in there.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And it's not like it's just enough caffeine to get me zinged, but not enough to make me feel like sick and crazy,
You're someone who doesn't need too much caffeine. I'm gonna put that out there right now.
I don't. I really don't. It really depends on what I'm doing. I like it when I'm at work because like the work I do is very physically demanding, so it kind of gives me a little more motivation, a little more pep in my step,
as it were.
Yeah.
I will say that I initially gave this 3 stars. I'm bumping it up to 3.5 as well. Because this movie is really fucking fun, and I haven't seen it in like 20 years, but and my partner thinks it's annoying as hell, but I don't know that it'll be 20 years before I hit it again. Is all I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, I will bump this one up to 3.5 as well. It is also the best movie I saw today, because after this movie, my partner was like, hey, you know what we should do? We should watch The Room. And so I saw Tommy Wiseau's The Room for the first time today. And if that man did not learn for the first time, I've never seen it. I've actively avoided it up to this point.
I feel sorry for you, Steven, because you probably didn't have a good time, because like straight up, you've like it's everywhere, the memes and everything. Like you already have such an idea of it that.
Mm-hmm. And I'd already seen the movie The Disaster Artist, which we watched right after.
Yeah, which is really good. I really like that movie, actually.
It's fine. It's okay.
Nathan Fielder's in it, Steven. You watch your mouth.
He is, and he is very good in it.
Watch your mouth, Steven.
But not too many others are. But what I will say for The Room is, if Tommy Wiseau did not learn English, filmmaking, dialogue, storytelling, just like naturalistic acting, and just like the basic tenets of lovemaking from the Red Shoe Diaries, then I don't know where he learned it.
With David Duchovny?
and Matt LeBlanc, yes.
Yeah. That's the first thing I ever saw David Duchovny in.
That's amazing. That's fucking incredible is what that is.
Hey, you get those free weekends of HBO, like.
Correct. Or you stay at a friend's house and they have it, and after they go to bed, you stay up and watch it.
And see, back then it was a whole mystery behind it. Now it's just like you can just get on the computer and, hey, look, there's the nastiest porn you can imagine, which I'm not against. I'm just saying, back then it was a treasure. You know, like if you could get your hands on something and see,
that was the only porn available, accessible at that point. Yes.
What the fuck? Yes.
That and horror movies, and I didn't watch horror movies, so yeah.
It was treasure, Steven.
Yes, you are not wrong. Yeah. So there it is. That's it. Is our episode on Strange Brew, The Adventures of Bob and Doug McKenzie, Strange Brew. And yeah, we've talked about Dave Thomas on this podcast before. We fucking love Rick Moranis. He's the best.
Yes.
But we've got other sketch comedy alums to talk about over the course of the rest of this month. So join us next week. yeah, it's a theme month. That's what that's about. So join us next month as we continue Sketch-Tember. And it's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have a great time with this month, and then of course next month we'll do our Spooky-thon. So 2 theme months in a row again. Bada bing, bada boom. We love it when it happens. But yeah, that is our episode. This has been the Disenfranchised Podcast. You can find us on Patreon and Patreon, patreon.com/disenfranchised. Join the official conversation of the Disenfranchised Podcast free of charge, or if you are feeling a little generous and free with your checkbook in these trying times, for $5 a month, you can also get access to all of our bonus content behind the paywall, including but not limited to episodes of Disenfranchised at the Movies, Disenfranchised, Unenfranchised, all those shows that you know and love. They're behind the paywall for just $5 a month. Patreon.com/disenfranchpod. Shoot us an email at disenfranchpod@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Bluesky, Letterboxd, and YouTube at disenfranchpod. I'm your host, Stephen Foxworthy. You can find me on Letterboxd and Bluesky at Chewy Walrus. Do not find our absent co-host, Brett Wright. He's currently storming a brewery, demanding free beer because there was apparently a mouse in the bottle. Do not follow him. He doesn't want your patronage. But you know who does? My good buddy, Tucker. Tucker, where can we find you on the socials these days?
Well, first of all, Stephen, you forgot to mention Wells U.
I did forget to mention Wells U. The other podcast that I'm on with friend of the show, Hope Stough, where we talk about the life and work of Orson Welles. Maybe we record an episode this month or this week. I don't know. Because we're kind of coming right up on it. I haven't added it to the calendar yet because I haven't discussed it with her, but I've got mad research to do before that episode goes live. That said, definitely check out Wells University. We were, I think, 9 episodes in. The upcoming episode, I think it's dropping a week from tomorrow or a week from 2 days ago. Friend of the show, past and future guest of this podcast, and Wells U, Samuel Dumas, is on that episode talking about Hearts of Age, the first Orson Welles film, a short that he filmed on a Sunday afternoon with a couple of buddies and in a 16mm camera. Check that out. Also, check out the episode of the Pod and the Pendulum that's dropping next Monday. It's the 300th episode of the Pod and the Pendulum. I am on that episode along with many, many of my austere co-hosts for that episode. It was such a great episode. It was so much fun. I had an absolute blast. I hope you do too. Check that out wherever you get your podcast, because it is worth the 3.5 hours it will take you to get through it for sure. Sorry, Tucker, where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram and on YouTube at Ice909. That's ICENINE, the number 0 and the number 9. Also, Tuck Mugs. Order. Yes, Tuck Mugs is still on Instagram. We had a post last week, I think it was. There was a post, wasn't it, Steve?
Mm-hmm. I believe so. Yep. Your sister's mug.
Yeah. So it's, there's still stuff going on there. It's still a, calm little center of the earth for social media. If you want to come chill and look at some mugs, Tuck_mugs on Instagrams. And that's it.
There it is. That's it. That's all she wrote for this episode. Join us next week as we continue Sketch-Tember. Until then, I am your host, Stephen Foxworthy, for the absent Brett Wright and the ever-present Tucker. Until next time, take off, you hosers.